Oh, maybe that isn't as good as I thought it was going to be.
So yeah, the light carrier is the first proper carrier we've got in the game.
Yes.
Which is quite cool.
Because
often...
Because even Phoenix 1... Phoenix Home?
Phoenix Home.
Yeah. Which was sort of designed to be a mini carrier, didn't really fulfill the role that well.
Phoenix Home was... it's very much more of a command ship. It was a bit of an oddity because it wasn't very fast, and the rebels traditionally are quite fast, apart from maybe like the bigger ships. But even then...
So the other thing we will mention is that even though these come in big boxes, these are all small base ships.
Yeah. So let's have a
So
look at
do we get any new... So again, dual upgrade cards.
Cool, so there it is.
And size restricted upgrade card trait as well. That's something that's on.
Yeah. Which isn't anything new. If you've played stuff like X-Wing before, we've got lots of size restricted. So medium and small base and huge base stuff. So
actually no, sorry, this is not. This is a medium base ship, isn't it?
That's a medium base. Yeah.
Sorry. We were wrong. This one's a medium base ship. So that means the Rebels still have more small base ships than the Imperials now.
Yeah, well it does make
sense. Makes more sense.
Because the Rebels always had the smaller ships and the core and the...
So I haven't had the chance to... See, I really like that. I really like the look on that. I like the detail.
It's a really nice model.
It is. Okay.
Again, it's another triangle for the Imperials.
Yeah. I swear the designers of the Imperial Shipping Bureau are just addicted to pizza.
Yeah. Cool.
So we have what do we have? We have the Quasar Fire 1 class cruiser carrier and the 2 class cruiser carrier.
Yeah. So
not the most original of names.
But there we go. So we'll have a look at the one class first.
So for 54 points, what do we get?
So we got 6 hull. We got a single blue anti-squadron. We got 2 command, 4 squadron, 2 engineering. Defense tokens. You've got a brace and a redirect. You go all the way up to speed 3. So speed 1's got 2 clicks. Speed 2's got 1 on each click. Yeah. 1 click on each, so I should say. And then speed 3 is straight and then click. So armaments, we've actually got like a decent armament.
Yeah, as well.
We've got 3 blue out the front, 2 blue out of port and starboard, and then 1 blue out the rear.
Yeah.
And then we've got 2 shields on the front and port and starboard, and then we've got 1 shield out the back. We've got an officer, weapons team, and 2 offensive retrofits.
Yeah.
Or offensive retrofit? I don't know what that symbol is.
I believe that defensive is the shield, shield generator.
Shield
the one that looks like an explosion, but I'm pretty sure isn't.
Not entirely sure what it's supposed to be. I think it's like a turret of some description.
Yeah, it must be. But yeah, anyway, offensive retrofit.
So we got 2 offensive retrofits. So yeah, that seems quite cool. You got a nice 4-mate squadron because obviously it is a carrier. You got a nice set of upgrades because there's a lot of nice offensive retrofits. Obviously, you've got expanded hangar base. You can go up to 5 squadron.
It's not offensive, is it?
What's the rapid launch base one? I really like that one.
Oh, that
where you have the squadrons on board and then you
I'd be surprised if this couldn't work with rapid launch base.
I think that would be a.
Yeah, it's an offensive. Reinforced blast doors, which is a defensive, so you can't have it. Yeah, it's defensive, unfortunately. But rapid launch
laser
base,
turrets.
Yep,
you can have some of those.
What else? Boosted comms, obviously. Yeah. So for 54 points, then you throw on expandable hangar bay and boosted comms for another 9. So for 63 points, you're getting yourself a carrier that is good at medium range. But at the same time can basically, especially what's what I'm looking for? It can activate 5 squadrons at long range, and if you have a lot of squadrons with relay.
Yeah, Again, the armament to me personally, it's not a problem. The defense tokens, not much of a problem because this guy's going to stay back and he's going to activate a load of squadrons. Yeah. Obviously, the Imperials have also got access to the shuttles, so they've got relay, which is obscene.
Which you love.
I love relay.
Relay is good.
It's such a fantastic thing.
For someone who isn't the biggest fighter, who uses fighters literally as a screen, having to fight against someone who loves relay is annoying.
We've also got access to flight controllers, so when you activate ships, you can get extra dice.
Yeah.
And obviously, I imagine there's
gunnery teams.
Well, you're not going to want gunnery teams on this.
No, but I'm just saying. Who else? Adar Talon.
You can have. You've got. That's in Rebels, dude.
Oh yes, it is.
You can have Admiral Charnu.
Yes. Squadrons that you activate can move even if they engage. When an engaged squadron moves this way, treat it as having a print speed of 2. It's quite a nice little ability.
You've got. You can have Wing Commander.
There's a lot of nice little ability.
Yeah. There's an absolute.
You could have Callus. It's just in case you get fighters coming towards you.
There's a load of stuff you can have on this, and it's really good.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Even though it's only got 2 defense tokens, again, it's gonna stay away from all of the big ships, and it's just gonna command a bunch of squadrons to fight. So
yeah, Quasar 2.
And it's a lot cheaper than what a lot of people were using for a squadron commander, as in the Victory, because the Victory.
Yeah, the Victory was
that's
a carry.
That's sort of the place the Victory took in the current game, because it's not
in the meta.
Yeah,
but it's 20 points less.
20 points less. That's 20 points
for 54 for Quasar 1, 73 for Victory 1. So it's 19 points left.
Yeah.
So basically, for the price of 1 Victory, which isn't even upgraded, you can turn the Quasar 1 into a fully upgraded carrier.
Yeah.
And then we have number 2.
So we've got number 2,
which is 7 points more for 61. It's the same, apart from your attack dice, which you suddenly get 2 red out the front, as well as 1 blue. 1 red and 1 blue out the side, and your anti-squadron becomes red.
Yeah, I think it's the first time we've seen an anti-squadron that's red.
I think you may be right.
We also swap one of our offensive retrofits for another weapons team. So I'm not quite that. I imagine that opens a couple of different combos.
So if we were to go through my handy book, you'd lose out on things. So you wouldn't be able to do expand hangar bays and boosted comms.
But
maybe
in the
launch
Imperial's
bays.
boosted comms is not so bad because you got shuttles,
and then
you can just go through shuttles.
And then expanded hangar bay again, not much more. For 4, for this one, I'd say rapid launch bays.
Rapid launch base seems. I love the idea of rapid launch base. It's such a silly
needs to work.
Squadrons, but the Quasar isn't going to want to be close to anybody.
No, that is the problem.
It might want some defense because if you're staying back from the fight and you're telling lots of other squadrons, commanding lots of squadrons, someone comes towards you with their own, you might want a couple of ties on board to perhaps form a screen and. From those nasty bombers that come and get you.
At the same time, if you have boosted comms, because with the red die, this suggests to me this is more of a standoff. Boosted comms for flight controllers.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to work out what 2 weapons teams we could have.
That's what I'm. That's what I'm. So flight controllers.
Yeah, flight controllers.
And ruthless strategists.
You've got ruthless strategists. I think that's it.
We
might have some more stuff in here.
Yeah, exactly. We haven't looked through, but we're just trying to look through what we got at the moment.
I'd probably still punt for the 1.
Yeah,
because I'm fine with him staying back and not doing any shooting because he's doing all his work through the squadrons.
He's 7 points cheaper.
Yeah.
Same survivability. Yeah. I like this. Yeah. Just from the base stats alone and from seeing what you've already got, I like this.
Yeah, both these cards are perfectly valuable because having that red. One red anti-squadron is pretty great.
I can see lists with 2 or 3 of these.
I think
very fighter heavy lists.
Yeah, really fighter heavy lists, and maybe like some kind of like you could have like 2 of those in an interdictor maybe.
Yes.
And like a massive horrible control list. Anyway,
so now we go to our commander.
So we got a commander. So we got Admiral Sloan.
Ray Sloan from the expanded universe. She first appeared in. I can't remember I believe it's called The New Dawn, which was the very first book of the new canon that introduced Kanan Jarrus and Hera Syndulla, and she was also in the Aftermath trilogy of books set between Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens. She's quite an important character, but I wouldn't have called her a fighter commander. So let's see what she does.
So while a friendly squadron without rogue is attacking, you may spend 1 dice with an accuracy to choose and spend 1 of the defender's defense tokens. Whilst attacking a ship, it may also reroll 1 dice with a critical icon, 24 points. So that's quite interesting. Very, very much leaning towards the Quasar, unlike...
Ooh, I like that. I like... Normally your accuracy would stop, say, oh, you can't use that.
Yeah.
But this, you're exhausting it, so you're forcing them to get rid of it.
So she likes lots and lots of ties.
Yes. Lots of ties. With How Runner.
Interceptors, maybe. So she lots of generic guys, but not many bombers, because they're obviously going to go after...
Yeah.
If they go after ships, they get to re-roll their faces.
So you think icons. Defenders? I think she worked brilliantly with defenders.
Mm-hmm.
Defenders.
So she's very
fighters.
much she's very much a weird sort of fighted screen devotee.
Yeah.
And then she's got some power against. So she basically backs up on what the problem with. So she wouldn't be defenders actually, because defenders have bomber. So she actually makes up for for the fact that a lot of the Imperial ships don't have bomber.
I'm thinking more defenders and anti-fighter as opposed to anti.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
You know.
So she's definitely more...
Because I know you like your bomber, you like your defenders, but imagine having your defenders fighting their way through a screen of unique and rogue class ships that have all those... You can strip them of their tokens pretty much.
She's actually very powerful against the rebels.
Yes.
Because obviously the rebels have got lots and lots of really good squadrons and lots of really good unique squadrons.
And one of the... most annoying rebel pilots to fly against is Jan Ors, who can dish out a token to other people. So you could.
But the thing is that the ruling is if you're shooting a ship that benefits from.
What I mean is you fight. So you focus on Jan Ors, force her to strip her tokens, then no one else can get her tokens off her.
The thing is that she's normally surrounded by ships with escort.
There is that, but But at the same time, I'm just saying this opens up a lot of possibilities for dealing with a lot of those annoying. No. Especially Scatter.
I don't think she's going to see much play though. I think she's a little bit too specific, a little bit too niche.
She's I can see why she's in a carrier.
Yeah, I can see why she's definitely in this expansion.
And if you're going to fly a double carrier list or fly maybe two of these with a victory and a lot of fighters, yes, take her. But she's definitely for bomber.
I still think there's a better. She's 24 points. She's quite cheap.
She's quite cheap compared
to... She's not... Because obviously Ozzel is the cheapest at 20.
But she's 24... You can have Motti, which...
You can have Motti. Motti's really good.
For 20... For 25, you could have Taig, who lets you recover one discarded defense token. For 26, you could have Screed.
But again, Screed is a very specific play style. But Motti's just everyone.
And I like Motti.
Motti's really good. So Motti's just survivability. But yeah, she's alright, but she's not quite as good as Leia Organa.
No.
So.
But again, I think she's a bit more niche.
Yeah, a bit more niche.
But then again, for 38 points, Leia Organa had to be good. For 24 points.
Yeah, that's...
What I've noticed especially with the Imperial, with most of the commanders, is those ones that fall in the mid to late 20-point range.
Yeah.
I feel like very specific builds.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very hard to find like a really good generic. It's why Motti's quite surprising. It's very good.
Because I tend to stick with Ozzel and Motti. Motti if I got a lot of big ships I want to survive, or if I'm flying some small ships, Ozzel just for the speed changes. Yeah. So the Grand Inquisitor again from Rebels makes sense. This is a ship that was debuted in Rebels for 4 points.
I think it's been part of the EU for ages.
It might have been, but I've never seen it before, which is quite interesting.
I have seen it. I've actually seen it in one of the mods for one of the 4X games.
That's pretty cool. I never knew that.
Around a while.
Fun fact: it actually started out as a rebel ship.
Did it? And then it became an Imperial ship, and then the Rebels stole it again.
Because Triangle,
yeah. But I never knew that. I thought it was designed for Rebels. That's pretty cool.
Cool. Yeah, so we got the Grand Inquisitor. So 4 points. He's an officer. When an enemy ship at distance 1 to 5, so a range ruler length, changes its speed, you may exhaust this card to increase or decrease your speed by 1. So that's quite nice.
That works for not just for any ship, basically.
Yeah, that's quite cool for any ship. So it's a nice bit of manipulation. Yeah, he's just quite cool.
He's just unique.
So then we've got the dual card for this set. So we've got boarding troopers.
Different to boarding engineers. So when you reveal a command, you may discard a squadron dial or token and discard. to choose one enemy ship at close range. Choose and spend a number of its defense tokens up to your squadron value. That I like. I still prefer Boarding Engineers. But Boarding Engineers are more specific. Boarding Engineers are about getting in there.
This one works better with this one. Although you want to be far away, there's going to be that opportunity where you're going to end up within close range of someone, and then you go, cool, so I'm going to spend this token that I've held on to, discard this card, you've got Squadron 4, probably 5, I'm going to use all of your tokens, and then I'm going to hit you with a bunch of fighters. And then you go, please, by all means, spend your tokens.
The other side of this as well is neither of them are faction specific, so it does nothing to stop you from putting Boarding Engineers on there.
It's also 3 points.
3 points. You would want this on something with high squadron value, so a Vic or one of these.
I don't know. I think
would that be your printed squadron value, or if you were to have, if you were to throw this on Quasar with expanded hangar base?
Yeah, that would include that.
That would include expanded hangar base, so 5.
I think,
not many ships have more than 4 anyway.
I think this could go on lots of different things because some of the times you having a squadron token is just going to go to waste. But if you could roll up and be like, oh, I'm going to make you turn a load of your defense tokens face down and I'm going to shoot at you. And
suddenly, if you're a player who doesn't fly a lot of squadrons, it's going to give you more, like you say, chances to do stuff with your squadrons. You got things like your Architens. Some of them have 2 squadron value. Your Interdictors have 2. Your Victories have 3. So your Imperial class Star Destroyers have 4.
So there's lots of things. There's lots of things with a decent amount of squadron value to make it worth it. And you've got 3 defense tokens usually.
That is true.
So then we've got another double card. So this one is for small and medium ships only. So we've got disposable capacitors. So when you activate, you may discard this card. If you do, the blue dice in your battery armament can be used while attacking ships at close to long range until the end of the round. That's quite good. So that's an offensive retrofit at 3 points. So that's quite good for the turn 2 engagement. So think about that on a Imperial class.
No,
someone getting
Victory class.
Victory. Sorry, yeah.
Some Hedgehog, one of our regular players, actually made a comment that a lot of the things in here, while useful for this, are going to be very useful for the Victory class. The quad turbo laser batteries are in here, as are these. Suddenly the Victory class, you're freeing up from being the carrier, and you can go back to being a heavy hitter, which is going to be cheaper than, but it's a cheaper heavy hitter. You're saving yourself almost 40 points from having to throw in an Imperial Star Destroyer. So,
that's quite cool. I like that one actually. I think that's.
And the other thing I was going to say was what we were saying about these. You throw a Minister Tour, take up the Lost slot. Suddenly you can have your Reinforced Blast Doors.
Reinforced Blast Doors, yeah.
Again, so more Reinforced Blast Doors, more survivability.
Yeah.
So these things have a lot of survivability.
Yeah, the upgrade bar is very versatile. Again, it's very much a Swiss Army knife. It's a Swiss Army knife that does squadrons, but you can make it do squadrons in a number of ways and make it live a bit longer.
Did you done the title yet?
No, we're nowhere near the titles.
No, we're nowhere near the titles. Titles are last.
And then and the outside, it does have a nice little punch.
Again, yeah, you can throw it on this and shoot 3 dice at someone at any range, which is pretty cool. So then we've got quad battery turrets.
Again, same thing with them. Again, on these, suddenly you can have 4 dice.
Yeah, you can have 4 dice.
With concentrate fire, suddenly 5 dice out your front arc.
You're probably not travelling especially quickly. No. So then we've got 3 titles.
There are 3 titles,
which is
pretty
different.
Nice. So,
so we've got the
Pursuant.
Pursuant. Go for it. Cool.
Pursuant. I don't know.
However you say that.
So for 2 points, very carrier based because it, funnily enough, is a carrier. When you reveal a command dial other than a squadron command, you may discard this card to resolve a squadron command. Treat this command as if you had spent the squadron dial. So for 2 points, say you had.
That's pretty good.
Say you were lining yourself up for a shot, but it's like your enemy does something and it's like, oh, I really need to do my squadrons. I have concentrate fire. Get rid of that. Suddenly you can activate up to 5 squadrons. up to if you had expanded hangar bays on there.
Yeah,
That's
it
good.
also like you can have again the universal officers on there, so you can have the engineering captain go, I'm going to change my command to an engineering, fix myself up, and I'll activate my squadrons as well. So,
and especially if you had just a load of fighters, but in a group, but thrown around a shuttle, and then you played with Sloane, you can suddenly do that. Suddenly 5 TIE fighters turn into almost bombers with the ability to re-roll their crits.
So then we got Squall.
Squall, yep.
Squall. When you activate, you may choose up to 3 and unengaged friendly squadrons at close to medium range. Those squadrons may move up to distance 2. If they do, they cannot end their movement engaged. 3 points. That's quite nice. Gets some more of your slower ships up the board. Also lets you have a fighter screen and not have to worry about activating them.
That is true. And also, it just says unengaged, so you could activate them.
Mm-hmm.
So you could move them and then activate them with a dial.
Yeah. So it's an extra little.
So for bombers, essentially your
forwards.
bombers can go up to speed 6.
Yeah. So that one's quite nice.
They just can't end that movement engaged. But that's pretty
so
cool.
You can't use it as an extra move to engage people and tie people up, but you can keep your little fighter screen with you and not have to worry about them.
And then stronghold. For
it also
5
it also means when you move, you won't bump into people.
There is that.
So you won't bump into your own squadrons and have them forced to go behind you. So then we've got Stronghold. While a friendly squadron with Swarm is at distance 1 or 2, is defending, the attack is treated as obstructed. 5 points. Oh, that's pretty nice.
So what has Swarm?
So what has Swarm? TIEs do. Interceptors do.
Interceptors do. That's the thing. This thing, what this looks to me is this thing is trying to bring fighters back into the meta in a way that to be used as more than just a generic screen. You know.
Well, in the Imperials, that's what they were.
That is what they were.
Because the Rebels always had the best squadrons because they have access to one of the weirdly the best squadron in the game, which is the X-Wing, because the X-Wing has bombers. So the X-Wing can win the squadron fight.
Has escort and bomber, yeah.
Yeah, it has escort and bomber. So
win the squadron fight, go.
You can win squadron fight, and then you've got other things to do with them. Whereas a lot of the Imperials didn't. They were just fighters designed to kill other fighters.
And if you are going for a fighter-heavy squadron, fighter-heavy list of up to 133 points in TIE fighters, which is a lot of squadrons.
Yeah.
88, 96, 104, 112, 120, 120. You're looking at 16 squadrons of TIE fighters alone, and then you're willing to put Sloane in. Suddenly those TIE fighters become pseudo bombers in the sense you can re-roll, you can use them to strip. You have stronghold on one of your carriers. You have you decide to have a squall on another one of your carriers. If you even do a third one with pursuant.
But yeah, you could also have stronghold and the rapid launch base to have built-in defense against squadrons. So you launch your cheapo TIEs, and then they're just that little bit more durable because they're not being shot as much.
So compared to the last kind of carrier we got, which was the Phoenix Home, or Phoenix 1, I can't remember, I think it was Phoenix 1, from Wave 5, which, while trying to be a sort of carrier with the rapid launch base, was also trying to be a command ship. They've gone purely carrier here.
Yeah.
And a few of them, things like the Balding Troopers, they can be used on anything, as can the Grand Inquisitor, but a lot of these, especially the titles, purely carrier.
Yeah.
And it worked.
I liked it.
I would have preferred to see rapid launch base come in this.
Yeah, it'd also make a little bit more sense.
It would.
But no, I really like it. It's really nice.
So
I think the game does benefit from having expansions that are focused on doing a particular thing.
Yeah.
And this definitely, it's definitely going to benefit the Imperials to have such a devoted ship.
Yes.
And it also does like plays to the Imperials in terms of the fluff.
It does
because they will have dedicated character ships, whereas the Rebels won't, because they'll just be universal tools.
Because one problem I've always seen with using either your ISD or your VSD as a carrier is you're taking it out from what it should be, which is your heavy hitter. Suddenly you're having to devote half of the point cost on it to activating ships, whereas now with one of these, your fighters can you can leave this to deal with your fighters, while your VSDs, especially now your VSDs, you can bring 2 VSDs in now, plus one of these, plus a load of fighters, plus still have your VSDs with a decent amount of points on them.
Yeah.
Suddenly the VSDs are going to come back in the game in a big way, especially with those charge capacitors and quad battery turrets. And suddenly you can let them focus on mopping up the enemy ships, while these...
Yeah. Well, the thing is with having victories as your carriers is you're having essentially being taxed for having good guns.
Yeah.
Which you're no longer being, because it's not meant to really fight other ships.
No.
It's got guns on it, so if something comes close to you, you go, oh god, kill it.
It's got a decent... I think that's why it has got a decent amount of armament on it to make your opponent think twice about maybe closing in with it, especially if you do keep it behind behind a screen of fighters or a couple of bigger ships in front of it.
Yeah.
And it does pack a little bit of a punch, and there are ways to get that up there, but I think if you're flying this as anything other than a dedicated carrier...
I don't know, I'm not entirely sure how you're supposed to fly it. Is perhaps it could be some kind of weird support ship, but
maybe.
Yeah, it's designed to be a carrier.
But again, especially the Quasar 2, Quasar 1, very definitely designed to stay back. Could even see your Admiral living on this, dishing out orders, especially with relay and the ships where you don't even need to worry, because relay just says anyone on the board, doesn't it? So,
it's just...
So as long as you have a ship with relay, suddenly you're dishing out so many fighters, so many problems. You can still put rapid launch bays on it to throw out a load of bombers or interceptors or defenders in someone's face. It's a versatile little ship.
It's also not slow, so you could have that bit where you go, I'm gonna walk up the board,
and then suddenly boom.
I'm gonna like do my boarding troopers, exhaust a bunch of your tokens, rapid launch bay a load of bombers out, and then just hit you.
I like it.
Yeah, no, it's a really solid expansion. I can easily see those in play on the
pleasant
board.
surprise.
Yeah,
even better than we expected. Honestly, compared to the last wave we got, which I was a little bit disappointed with, this feels like a proper solid wave, a proper solid expansion.
Yeah,
and I think that's it. That's been shown by the fact they've taken a few months longer to release this wave than they did in between the last few waves. So I think they've done more playtesting, more design work. Yeah, I still don't like the box.
The box is silly. Yeah, it just fulfills something that the game didn't really have. I like the wave. I was as the same as Johnny. I was pleasantly surprised by the hammerheads, because they seem like they've actually got a purpose.
Well, one of the hammerheads does. The other one, but then again, the rebels like. The rebels, MC-30.
The rebels do have some weird stuff.
Like their torpedo frigates. Maybe one's good, but the other one's... But then again, the Imperials have the same raiders. I found a slight work for raiders. If you're having a very fighter-like list, they work as a kind of fighter screen, but at the same time, still haven't really figured out what they're for. Yeah. This has a dedicated use. That has a dedicated use.
Yeah. They're both definitely going to see. I'm not sure if it's better than the last wave, because last wave was quite good because we got some more squadrons.
Yeah, okay. For the squadrons in the last wave, that was fantastic. I loved the squadron packs in the last wave. That was the best part of the last wave. But the actual 2 capital ships we got,
I don't know.
The Architects was good. The Phoenix Home was, but these, I'm just saying, I think they're better. I think you
could see like 2 of these and a couple of Architects and a bunch of squadrons.
Yeah,
that'd be quite fun.
I kind of want to buy another one and another Architects now and do that on Monday.
All right, yeah. So that's our opinions on the new wave.
That is
overall. I think it was really good. Pleasant surprised by the hammerheads
and the new wave. Now, along with the new FAQ that has just been released, which has changed up quite a few things, especially with in regards to Riken. His ability's been hit hard, as has Demolisher. The game has changed quite a bit. I mean, have you read Demolisher's new ability now?
I haven't. No.
It's nerfed your favourite move of boosting, then hitting.
During activation, you can perform one of your attacks after you execute your first maneuver.
First maneuver.
So
you can't end and tech it anymore.
Yeah, it's your original speed 3 maneuver. You can't do speed 3 and then 1.
And then,
which isn't. I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, but the thing is, what's now causing a lot of confusion is it states once you attack, you can't really move. You can't move again. So can you? So what a lot of people don't know is, can you move, do your speed 3 maneuver, attack, and then still engine take? So
anyway,
that's something that
I think that's probably a discussion for another time.
Day. But yes.
So I really like this. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and you'll join us next time for whatever comes out.
Wave 6.5, Wave 7, another campaign expansion. Who knows? Well, I'm sure we'll find more out of Gen Con in a few months.
Yeah. So again, thanks very much for joining us, Johnny.
That's okay. Thank you for having me.
I've been Chris, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.